Whoa! Nice. Let's see if the strobe works. That would tell us that the memory... Look at that. Wow. Well played, Fenix. Hey everyone, Ebbs here with House of Guns. I have a super cool flashlight review for you here today. This is the new updated version of the Fenix TK35 that we received from FenixOutfitters.com. And the reason this bad boy stood out to us is because the max output in turbo mode is 860 lumens. 860 lumens, guys. That is unreal. It has 4 different power settings, so you can go from 860 to 365 to 120 down to 15 lumens. And with those, the further you go down, the more time you get, because it takes 4 of these CR123 batteries, which Fenix so lovely includes with the order. So if you order the same business day before 2 p.m., Fenix is not only going to send you their light that same day, but they're going to include the high quality batteries that you need with the light. So you see how nice the super lightweight hull on this, and then the battery pack slides in, top goes back on. So if I leave this all the way on low with these batteries, I'm going to get 130 hours of use out of this. Now that's a big deal, because this would be kind of like a super outdoorsman's flashlight. They talk about cave exploration and camping and keeping it in your vehicle. It would definitely work for that. It's impact resistant up to 1 meter. I actually tested it past that last night. We did 1 meter drop straight to the ground, and then I was actually tossing the light out in front of the camera, so you'll get to see it, but I was tossing the light about 15 feet to 30 feet in different increments, and the case took a little bit of a beating, but it held up, and it's still functioning flawlessly. We'll turn around and let you see the front here. The bezel really took a bit of a beating, and but it's holding up and it's functioning perfectly. And this thing is so bright, it's like its own little sun. I'm not even kidding. 860 lumens is nothing to laugh at. So impact resistant to 1 meter, as I mentioned, that we tested and threw it, tossed it out on the street, not just in the dirt. I mean, it really got heaved. It's also waterproof and submersible to 2 meters. So we took that, went the extra mile, and said, well, what if we froze this? We dropped it in a mason jar, filled it with water, put it in the freezer overnight. It sat for about 10, 11 hours, something like that. Came out, the jar had broken, it was frozen solid, and about this much of the top was exposed. And so even in the mason jar, I clicked the power button and it lit up just like that. The whole jar was like this giant ice lantern. And I was extremely encouraged to see that. Left it on, broke it apart, and it's no worse for the wear. So just in the last 24 hours, we've tossed it, thrown it, submerged it, and then frozen it, broken apart, and it is still totally withstanding everything that we've thrown at it, which is encouraging. That's what you want from a utility light, something that's potentially going to get abused. Just as a size reference, I have my little PD32 here. This is also a Fenix light, but you can see this would be kind of a tactical light, an everyday carry light. It also has a Cree bulb, but it's a maximum of 315 lumens. So when we tested this last night, you could tell at about 130, 120 yards, even under a street light, this one is so intense, shining right in the camera, and this little guy almost looks like we lit a match. You wouldn't think that it's that big of a difference. And inside of a house, inside of a closed room, 315 lumens versus 860, they're both really bright. So if you're shining it off a wall, you're going to say, well, I don't know if that one's that bright. But once you get it outside, the intensity of the beam and how far it will shine makes a big difference. Here's another light to compare it to. This is the Surefire G2 And who doesn't have a Surefire? This has the old xenon bulb in it, so it's 90 lumens max. And I remember when 90 lumens was just blowing our minds because it was so bright. But this takes 2 of the CR123 batteries. It doesn't get nearly as bright. You can see this one's actually in a Mission First Tactical TSM rail mount, and so it seems a little bigger, but I can lay it down there. And you can see the size comparison. It's not huge. The Fenix TK35 is much smaller than even like a 3C mag light, but it is going to be bigger than these tactical lights or these everyday carry lights would be. So it's not going to be that type of I'm going to put it in my pocket and carry it along with me wherever I go. It also came, which is cool, it also came with a little nylon holster, and it has a super nice strap on the back, and then a buckle loop, so you could strap it to whatever you need there, and it just simply slides in, and then you can strap it tight right at the top. So if you want to put it on your belt, if you want to put it with camping gear, you've got that, and it's readily available even on the outside of your pack instead of having to stuff it on the inside and search for it with all your other stuff. So that's the package. We received this one from PhoenixOutfitters.com. I think the retail on it comes in about $110, $112, and it's good to see a light that advertises a lot of brightness, but that can also take a beating and really come back for more. The power button is still perfect on it, even after tossing it around. The mode selector with the SOS and the strobe is still perfect, and all the different brightness levels, the memory board is working without fail, even after throwing it around like we did and then freezing it overnight in our upright freezer. Absolutely perfect. This sucker's going in my truck as soon as I finish this review. So folks, this is Ebbs with House of Guns saying happy shooting. All right. Look at that.